for a number of reasons. Several months ago, two young men working for a facility in Kern County, a green waste facility, Eladio and Armando Ramirez, inadequately trained, inadequately protected, tragically died because the company let it happen. Cal OSHA, the feds, the Department of Labor are all engaged in an intense investigation. A couple of weeks ago, that same Cal OSHA was knocking on those doors. They were knocking on those doors because they don't want the same thing to happen here, because the same thing can happen here. Why are we here? That's why we're here. This is why we're here. This is an industry with huge impacts. This is an industry with a huge human toll, just like at Crown, just like it here.
One of the greatest civil rights leaders in history was shot dead, helping waste workers, and things, no matter how much time changes, seems that things stay the same. And that's what you have here. Corporate greed does not go away. It remains to haunt us, to take advantage of workers, and it's up to all of us that are here, a part of the labor movement, to stand up for folks like this and tell them we're not going to put up with it. We need to support these workers for their future, for job security, for the future and security of their families, for health care, for pension, all of those issues that they don't have, and dignity and respect most of all.
Working on the sorting line, I found dirty needles. I attempted to report the incident to our supervisor. Instead of him being concerned about our safety, instead of him ensuring that nobody else had been exposed to the needles, he immediately wrongly accused me of putting the needles there myself. The next day, while trying to get to the restroom, I had to step over piles of trash to get to it. I accidentally slipped, fell, and fractured my tailbone. An hour after I fell, I was fired. I am not the first to be injured. Other co-workers have been injured, have been forced back to work without medical attention. We are being harassed and even being fired for speaking up. We are being fired for exercising our rights. We are being retaliated against for demanding respect and wanting a better future for ourselves and our families. We need protection. This community needs protection, and we need our union. Help us make that happen and become members of Teamsters Local 396.
Now, when Carla went into that office and made that report, American Reclamation had a choice. They could have chosen the path of responsibility and accountability, shown a concern for the safety of their workers, and provided training for what workers should do when they come across needles and dead animals and feces and toxic fumes and all of these things that they face every day. They could have given them the proper equipment that would keep them from being injured from those things. But unfortunately, instead, they chose the cowardly path. They chose to deny that there was even a problem and blame it on the worker who spoke out about it.
I am proud of Los Angeles for being one of the best cities when it comes to the recycling that we have. But lives and working conditions are not recyclable. They are inherent. We have to make sure that workers here and everywhere aren't part of trash in our society. We call on Carla and we call on her co-workers to do the dirtiest work in Los Angeles. And I'm here with my colleague Richard Alarcon to say this city will stand with you and by you as we have a city of angels that not only recycles its trash, but lifts up its people too. I take very seriously the complaints we've heard from Carla. In fact, I sat down with Carla in my office, heard her conditions, and guess what? A few weeks later, she's been fired. Everybody has the right to come to their elected officials. Everybody has the right to petition their government and to say there are unacceptable things that are happening without fear of intimidation of losing their jobs, like what happened to Carla.
Local 396 represents about 2,500 waste workers and recycling workers in the Southern California region, some at a facility just like this. The difference? Those workers have rights. What do these brothers and sisters here at American Reclamation want? The exact same thing. They want to enjoy the benefits of being a Teamster. These workers are tired of this company's harassment and intimidation tactics. Just imagine the courage it must take, the determination that these workers, like Sister Carla and her co-workers have, to be compelled to speak out. It means that conditions must be unbearable. It means that they must have reached their limit. It means that they have nothing to lose. It means that they are willing to stand up and fight back, even if it means losing their jobs and not being able to put food on the table for their families.
There's been a lot of references to Martin Luther King. He said, what good is it if we can fight for the right to have somebody eat a hamburger in any restaurant they choose if they can't afford to pay for that hamburger? But today I ask you, what good is it if we clean up our Mother Earth? If we do so on the backs of workers who have to live in the trash that we need to process to clean up Mother Earth. We are going to march over there and ask them to let us in. Not all of us, but a few of us. We just want to observe. As a city official who provides contracts to these companies, I think they should let me in, don't you? So let's do it. Let's see what kind of conditions they have over there and whether they're open-minded about letting the public in, letting people see what kind of conditions they're operating their plant in. Let's do it.
Your action today is very important as to how the policy is developed. The fact that the company won't even open the door, I wonder why we opened the door to them in the first place. Let's continue on. Let's continue this fight. Let's commit to improve the promise, improve what we can do to improve the quality of life for the people of Los Angeles, but never do it on the backs of the workers. Right. Let's remember Armando, Carla, and all the other workers who have suffered as a result of poor working conditions. Your brothers and sisters, many of whom you know. So let's keep up this fight. Let's continue to put pressure on this company, and we'll win. That's right.